So, what's going on, everyone? I know a lot has happened to me within the past year or so, a little bit more over a year. And for the longest, I keep hearing everybody say, "Oh, Dara, you should write a book. You should write a book. You should write a book." Well, I'm not writing a book. I'm not a writer, but I am a talker. So, what I've decided to do was start my own vlogging session, which is in its way like a spinoff from the show that I've already started getting off the ground, called My Voice with Dara Friends. And this will just be called My Voice Open Journal. So this is just my way of letting you guys into a lot of the things that I've not only gone through, but what I've learned from going through them and some of the things that I'm going through now, and how it overcame a lot of things, and why I decided to make some of the decisions I made for my life. And um, yeah, so starting off the bat, I'm Dara Mims to be exact. That's me. That's my name. And um, just a young chick right now. I consider myself to still be young. I'm 36 years old, but I still consider myself to be young, from Philly, living in Atlanta now. No, I will never, ever, ever move back to Philly. I love Atlanta. I love living down here in the South. It's brought many things to my life that I'm definitely happy and proud of. With that being said, uh, I call this first journal entry. I remember, um, a lot of things have occurred, and you kind of forget, like, what happened sometimes, what brought you to a certain point, and how did you even get here. And I remember, I'll just jump right in because a lot of people who will see this first video already know that, I've already gone through my divorce. And it's been final now for what, a week, 2 weeks? I want to say a week. I'm not even really sure. It doesn't matter to me. But I'll just go way back and say, I do remember when we first met. I remember um, how we met. We met in church. And I remember, just thinking that this was some corny dude. Like, he's not even somebody I would normally be interested in, or somebody I would even have a crush on, so to speak. But, he was a cool dude. He was funny. He knew God's word like nobody's business. Like, I really honestly, learned a lot about the Bible through him. I remember we had this small group thing that they had everybody like get together and get a partner, get together and you learn about the Bible, you talk about things, blah blah blah. But I remember me and him like linking up, and then that's where the beginning of our friendship started. So I like remember how it all got started, and I remember being in a place where I felt like I could share a lot of things that I was going through with him, like the struggling relationship I had with my mom, or the boyfriends I had at the time. Like, I remember being able to talk to him like about anything, like anything that came about. I just remember feeling safe around him, and we built a friendship around that. And we had a friendship. We really became very close, and I remember feeling like, I finally got somebody who has my back, even though I was still dating other guys, and I was like, this dude was like never going to get the time of day with me, but he's definitely cool people to keep around. And yeah, so I remember we went on a date one time to, but not even a date. I thought we was just hanging out. Apparently it was a date, but we went out skating at the Golden Glide in Decatur, Georgia. And I remember like, um, yo, this is fine. Like, it was fine. But I remember feeling like something changed. Like, I remember thinking like he's catching feelings. Back then I didn't think it wasn't called catching feelings back then, but I remember thinking, yo, he's definitely starting to try, like to feel me. And he said it. I remember he said it. He said that, what are we doing? Like, he basically asked me like, what are we doing? I'm like, oh well, what do you mean what are we doing? And he told me like he's having feelings for me and like he wanted to like pursue those feelings. Well, hold on. I'm not gonna stop talking because I know this isn't nobody who wants me. But anyway, uh, I remember like feeling so like taken back by the whole situation, like just not even really knowing how to take it because I felt like it put a strain on our friendship that we had. It put a problem like in me now feeling like I had somebody to just chill with. But anyhow, I remember I remember him telling me he was celibate. I remember telling me like he wasn't thinking about like sex or anything like that. I remember him like I remember every time I would go into his apartment, it was always like a Bible like sitting right there on the armrest of the chair. Like he either had just got finished reading or was about to read or whatever. Like I remember thinking like, yo, this dude is really into the word. Like I just felt like, I was a heathen at that time. My mouth was a sailor. Like I used to cuss a lot. I think I smoked black and mild and I was drinking and I was in church but I wasn't like really into the whole like lifestyle of it. So it wasn't really I was trying to get there. I was just trying. And I remember there was this one time we were at this point in his he used to stay in apartments at the church because he was the groundskeeper. But I remember like we was in there chilling and he had made this beat that he let me hear. It was like this real like neo soul kind of like suave like kind of Pharrell-ish and Jill Scott kind of like beat. And I was thinking to myself like, yo, deep, okay. It was his creative ability, honestly, at that moment that I realized like, wow, this dude is probably pretty dope. You've been dating these hoodlums or whatever you want to call it for some time. Some people, not even hoodlums, like people who just I really honestly feel like didn't have my back or didn't want to treat me the way I wanted to be treated. So I remember thinking, okay, maybe he could be the one. Maybe we could see where this could go. I remember thinking that. I remember thinking, okay, well, you tried it one way before. Maybe you should try something different. And different might actually work out for you. So let's just see. And so I decided to see. And I remember taking that leap and just saying, okay, well, let's see where this goes. Um, and I remember people around me, certain people, thinking, how weird is this? Darren Juan? Like, what? Like, I remember, like, people, like to this day, I still get people saying, like, he doesn't even look like your type. What is that exactly? Like, what? I don't even know what that is. Hell, I didn't even know my type at that point. I mean, I thought my type was, like, football. Like, these football, like, looking dudes. Honestly, my type is like the next door neighbor dude. I never really wanted anybody too fine because I felt like they would cheat on me anyway. And I never wanted anybody too like smooth because I always feel like they would be lying to me. So I always like, I had no type. My type was just, if you was cute, you was funny, and you was like these things that just kind of made me feel like I can connect with you, like you was my type. But you definitely couldn't be ugly. I'm not even gonna lie. I never wanted the ugly dude. But I remember that first kiss. I remember that first kiss in January. Nah, I remember before the kiss. I remember it was Christmas. I remember we bought each other gifts for the first time, and I bought him like this little spinning, um, the remote thing. You put your remotes in, and on each corner it had like picture slots. It was something like really corny, $10 gift, $5, $10 somewhere. I don't know. I don't even know where I got it from. Shit. But I remember the gift he gave me was like this, like diamond encrusted. You know how they look like diamond, real silver, like real sterling silver heart bracelet and necklace set with these earrings. And I know me and my mom still laugh at this to this day because I just remember thinking, who gives their friend this kind of gift? Like this isn't a friend gift. Like what I gave him was a friend gift, but what he gave me was like, it made me uncomfortable a little bit. But our first kiss was January the 8th. And that was 2 weeks later or whatever. That's when I remember thinking, okay, I could see where this might could go. And yeah, that was the start of it. I remember that being a really good start and feeling like, well, maybe this could go somewhere. You can see where this could go. It's different, but let's just see. And then I'll tell you guys the rest another day. But I do remember. I remember how it started. I remember. I remember starting off good. How we ended up here, you just have to listen to find out. But thank you guys for listening. Again, this is Dara with My Voice and Friends, the Open Journal edition. I will be sharing much, much more of my story, and I hope you guys will continue to watch because this is my story. And it's my truth. It's precious to me. So share, love it, like it, hate it, comment. I'm here for it all. Trust me. When I say I'm an open book, I'm an open book. I don't mind answering questions, and I don't mind just putting myself out there. Thank you guys. Catch you next time. Remember to check back again. I will be putting up an entry every week. Hopefully you'll follow along with the story and you'll get to learn a little bit more about me, about my children, and about where I see myself in the future. But in the meantime, thanks for listening. And don't forget to share. And I'll let you guys know when the first episode of the real My Voice with Dara Friends will air because we are having some technical difficulties with that. But I will let you know. Thank you. Stay tuned. Deuces.